Good afternoon. It's a pleasure. My name is Jarrett Barrios. I am a state senator, not from New Bedford. I am the only Latino serving in the state senate. It is a great pleasure to join you here today under somewhat dubious circumstances. I am here and through you to try to communicate our request for help. Because when a child today in New Bedford asks where his mother is, we don't necessarily have the answer. And we can't say that we will have the answer tomorrow or next week or next month, because the federal government has chosen to send some of these mothers to another state across the continent. And we don't know when they will be reunited with their children, and we don't know how much that is going to cost this social service safety network in the meantime. The families here need the public's help.
No llamarnos aliens. Muchas televisiones nos enfocan de esa manera. No somos aliens. Somos hijos de Dios todos.
We're not aliens. We're sons of God, all of us. So please don't call us aliens. And we want to ask the Congress and the Bush administration and others in the government and the federal government to stop these brutal raids, to support the parents of these children, but particularly the children, because the parents, they can take a lot, but the children, they shouldn't be allowed to suffer like this.
There are criminals in this mess, particularly the company owner and the managers who perpetrated this whole travesty. And it is an irony of our judicial system that the owner of the company is sitting in the lap of luxury today with his family out on bail, enjoying the millions of dollars he's made from exploiting these workers, while these workers are being torn away from their families and yet again intimidated and abused. It's been my experience as a proud, naturalized citizen and as a union organizer, it's been my experience that unscrupulous and corrupt employers will take advantage of workers, both native born and immigrant. It doesn't matter to them. They'll profit where they can. Undocumented immigrants are the most vulnerable workers in our society. And as a society, we are measured by how we treat the most vulnerable amongst us. And it's a disgrace the way the federal government has come in and treated these workers, especially when we're on the cusp of immigration reform, comprehensive immigration reform. So the American Labour Movement stands in support with these workers, and we call for comprehensive immigration reform and for decency and fairness for all workers.
As an attorney with Catholic Social Services, I can say that everyone in the community knows who the undocumenteds are. They themselves, when they have approached us to assist with their legal process, and a lot of those that were picked up yesterday were in legal process to obtaining legal status. So it's not that they don't want legal status, it's not that they want to remain undocumented. They are making every effort possible to legalize their status, and that's what we've helped them do. But I do have several clients who were trying to legalize their status, and I was not allowed to contact my clients while they were being held at the factory.
What happened in New Bedford on Tuesday could happen in literally every major city or area in the United States, north, south, east, west. And the mayors have been calling for a national immigration policy for quite some time. For 10 years, the borders have been wide open. And we know that we have immigrants in the United States that don't have legal status. We're dealing with their problems every day. We need Congress to come up with a national policy that makes some sense. What then does not make sense at this point is the fact that these people were then not given some sort of show cause to report back to Boston, return to New Bedford, put their affairs in order, take care of their children, and understand that they would have to go and be accountable to the federal government and determine whether or not they'd be processed for deportation or given some sort of exemption to stay in the country. And instead what we have are individuals who are indicating to the federal government that they're either sole supporters, which I agree with, or have children, which I agree with, are being given those show cause to return. But the problem is people who are unwilling to come forward and say that for a variety of reasons, and in fact they may not be, are being detained and we understand perhaps moved to other locations in the United States for processing and getting a determination as to whether they stay. And I don't think that our community or any other community agrees with that approach.
So we have legal counsel willing and able to represent them here, and yet ICE is taking them out of state.
If you have money that you would like to give, you can make that contribution to the Niños Fund. The Niños Fund, or the Children's Fund as it is in Spanish. At the Mira Coalition, you can go to the Mira website, www.miracoalition.org.